Howdy. Now, this is a crowd. This is a good-sized crowd. I like to talk to a crowd this size. I was out the other night doing one of these after-dinner things, and the fellow's a little embarrassed, the one that invited me. There's just 12 people there. He said, I'm sorry. So I said, oh, I have talked for a group this size. He said, you've talked for 12? I said, yes. He said, what did you say? I said, not guilty. I want to ask y'all something now. Can you tell any difference in me whatsoever? So like, can you? Yes, Weight Watchers. I've been a member of Weight Watchers for 2 months, and I am down 22 pounds. 22. And I know what you're saying. Those of you that hadn't seen me before, you said, you was a whopper 2 months ago, wasn't you? Yes, I was. I was leaving tracks in the sidewalk about 1/4 of an inch deep. I had to do something. I really didn't join Weight Watchers. They came after me. They did. They came out there to where I live, and they set a bowl of biscuits and gravy on the porch. And when I ran out to get it, they got me. Oh, I tell you what. I'm not eating enough now. I'm just brushing my teeth about twice a week now. I'm telling you. But it's a good program. Because all through Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, I was gaining like crazy. I started eating like 3 days before Thanksgiving, just get warmed up. And I'm surrounded by good cooks. My daughter lives up in New York, and I called her right before Thanksgiving. I said, Lori, are you coming home for Thanksgiving? She said, no, Daddy, I can't come home Thanksgiving. Come home Christmas. I just don't have time. Now, you always have to teach your kids lessons. I don't care how old they are. So 10 of us went up there. That'll teach her. When I call next year, she'll be home before I hang up. Oh, she's a good cook. Good cook. My wife's a good cook. We've been married 38 years, my wife and I. Met her when we were in college, and I thought she was the cutest little thing I ever saw in my life. And then I found out her daddy had a big farm covered with Hereford cattle, and she was an only child. I'm telling you, she got so cute I couldn't stand it. Now, I'm telling you about it. And we got married, and we've been married, like I said, 38 years. And I'll never forget, though, that first Thanksgiving dinner she fixed for us. See, when we got married, she was 19 years old, and she had never, and I can prove this, she had never cooked a meal in her life. I didn't gain a lot of weight that first year, but oh, she learned, and she's a great cook, has been for years. But I'll remember that first Thanksgiving when she came in the house. She'd been out in the backyard. She came in, and I could tell she was mad. Her little brown eyes just snapping. Her hair was messed up. Apron hanging by one string. I said, what's wrong? She said, that turkey. She said, I got it picked and I got it stuffed. Now, if you'll kill it, I'll bake it. Woo. When I finished graduate school and got my first job in the Kentucky State Department of Education, I had never seen, at that time in my life, an inside of an airplane. I'm an old country boy, grew up way out in the country. Had never been any place, seen anything, had done nothing but work on the farm and went to school and got that good job. And they told me about the first week I was there, said, you need to take a trip down to Atlanta and right back. And I said, hot dog, gonna get to fly on an airplane. I was in Frankfort, Kentucky, and I ran down to the capital. We gonna edit this? If we don't, I'm done. I'm done now. I believe it's still called the Capital Travel Agency. Remind me, put that in the next show. That was a good So I ran into the travel agency and I said, I want a round trip ticket. They said, where to? I said, right back here. And I didn't know why they were laughing. But anyway, you have to laugh at yourself. And then it was not long before I got into the speaking business. And I took off on a trip to Orlando, Florida, staying down there at the Hyatt Grand Cypress Hotel. Have you been there? Nice place. They got a swimming hole out in the yard like you wouldn't believe. And I wanted to go swimming. And I was up there in my room, and I had my bathing suit on, and this woman came in that cleans the rooms, and I said, how can I go from here out to the swimming pool without going through the lobby of this nice hotel in my bathing suit? I didn't want to do that. She told me how to go. Then I thought I'd say something funny. And I said, well, I'd kind of hate to walk through there this way because people will see me and they'll think I'm Burt Reynolds. And she wheeled around just as quick as she could. Didn't even have to think of it. She said, don't you mean Boss Hogg? And I looked in the mirror. And in my bathing suit, I do look more like Boss Hogg than I do Burt Reynolds. But you might as well laugh. It draws us together. And I'm going now and take a speech lesson. Thank y'all.